3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Blackbeard, what do you got for me? You were just saying.
What are you thinking?
Yeah,
Yeah, for
BE.
power play, BE.
BE. Okay. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the one we're on right now. So with BE, you were thinking it was a power play. So we're going to evaluate this. It's not quite 100% rise. For power plays, we're looking for 2 to 6 weeks, sometimes 8, but 2 to 6 weeks generally of 100% gains off the break.
right.
Off the break here. So this would be the pivot point. So off the break, and we want it to hold above that.
Yeah,
So I have a couple power plays. I'll show an example of. Well, we all know drug because we've been waiting for that to come up. So this is a
yeah,
perfect example. These are weekly bars.
yeah.
And look at this. Look at this. This is like
Oh, no.
1,000% up. And not only is it's not like we're not gonna measure it from the pivot point up to where it like ended up at the very very top here. We're gonna hold off, see where it held above. And that's well over 1,000. So these are the kinds of power plays we're looking for. So when this sucker sets up, then we're great. But BE, not quite a power play. Lots of overhead supply. Like this is where we are now. But look at all these trapped buyers. Okay, overhead supply. Yeah. Anything else you got?
Yeah. Take a peek at USFD.
That was another one on my list. Both of these were on my list, but I
Thank
had
you,
to
thank you.
get rid of them. Okay, this white line here, this is the earnings. I like having that because William O'Neill shows a lot of that in his book, and it's super helpful just to have that visual. So you can see
Yeah,
earnings is definitely going up.
yeah, it
Um,
is. Sure.
and that's yeah, let me see if I can move this over. So that's confirmed by the the bar here. What do you call it? The chart. Um,
On the daily, got that. I don't know, cup and handle. Would you say?
Cup and handle on this, eh? Let's go on the daily. It is a nice tightening action. Wow, that is tight. Do
I
I
know,
have this
right?
on my list? Let me just check.
Well, you do now.
USFD.
You do
I
now, the
think
captain.
I think I did have this on my list, and there was a reason I took it off, and I can't remember what it was. Let me just quickly check what the forecast
Financials.
is. I don't know. Something was bothering me. You know what it is?
Mm,
It's the sales. Look at the sales.
okay,
That's what was bothering me. The sales were
right.
lacking. I just don't see growth in sales. I see growth in earnings, but I don't see it in sales. So yeah, earnings is number 1. That's what you want to look for. So you could play this out. I would play this as a short game. I want to see what stage it's at. Look at the weekly. Here's off the primary base. You can see where the yellow line crosses the blue line. That's the 150 on the yellow, and that's the
Yeah,
200-day moving average on the blue. So when this technically
yeah.
crossed over, that's when it started to be in an uptrend. So I would call this the primary base. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4th stage base. What that means is
Yeah,
it might
so
be a
that's what
little
I
bit
was thinking.
volatile. Yeah, but look at how big this base is. This could
Hmm.
be a reset base. Like you could count this as another first base again
Yeah,
if this sets up and
yeah.
blows through the
So I
waters.
threw it on my watch list for
It
sure.
is actually, you know what? I'm going to put this back on my watch list. If you're in Trading View, Alt
Uh,
W, that's what that does. Super quick and easy. What else you got on your list?
uh, I have GRND.
Okay. Oh, grinder. Yes. I had this on my list. I took it off because it's starting to get a little bit. I want to see reduction in volatility, not an increase. What is this over here? This is an increase in volatility. So I took it off my list. If it resets, I might do it, but not at this point. We do have earnings coming up. I just can't see it tightening up enough
Yeah,
before earnings. I can't see myself getting an entry before it. If this was already tight like this and then there was earnings, I would definitely look at it, but I gotta say though, look at that earnings on September 2024.
hmm,
It
I
was
know,
quite the
man.
jump.
I
It was
know.
yeah,
Yeah, why?
some
Yeah,
good picks, Blackbeard. Last week you picked out some ones that ended up actually doing pretty well, especially in this really crummy market right now. Like up here,
I did.
you'll see the
I
S and
had
P
a
500.
BRK.B from
B,
last week.
what'd you have? BR.
BRK.B.
Oh yes, okay, Berkshire. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
picked this up, didn't you? You picked
Looking.
it up out of the pivot here.
Yes, sir.
Did you? Did Are you still
Yes,
holding that?
sir. Yes, I am, man.
Nice, good work,
I am.
good work. I did
I'm up at
not pick that up.
like 6% right now, I think.
Okay, good for you. You have another
Yeah.
one from last week?
Yeah, I do. I'm also holding a PGR from last week.
PGR,
PGR a little bit
progressive.
lower,
Yeah,
but still, I'm holding 5% on that guy.
yeah. There's the handle right there. Small handle,
Yes, you
but
got it.
a
I got
handle
it right at that
nonetheless.
small handle,
Mm-hmm.
and then Monday it just started going.
Beautiful.
So, anyways, yeah, it's
Okay,
nice. A combined 11%,
that's not bad. Just
and
sell it and run because
yeah,
the market's a little volatile right now. Speaking of
yeah,
volatility, the
it's
VIX.
just looking great though, because that one day down, just right back up
Yeah,
on Thursday. Same with BRK, man.
yeah,
That one day down, instant natural reaction, just right back up.
yeah.
So it's tough, man, to sell because everything is just
Well, you
looking
might be
good.
okay because
It's
the
not
market's
giving
bouncing
me any
now.
like sell sign.
Yeah, the market's bouncing now. So, if
Yeah.
just wait for the. I just
I
hope it
might
doesn't
do
pull
the
back
old
too much.
what
Sell
Mark said,
sell
say
half.
sell half
Yeah,
just to make me feel happy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And if the
I might
listeners
do
don't
the
know
old
who we're
sell
talking
half,
about, Mark Ritchie
but
and Mark Minervini is who have taught us everything we know. We're talking about these are people that have trained institutional professionals. Okay, they're no joke. Don't take our advice.
they're the
This is
Jedi of swing trading.
They definitely are. They've been around a long time. William O'Neill started his magazines in the '60s. Jesse Livermore, I mean, he's going back to the early 1900s. He lent J.P. Morgan
Yeah,
money and helped save the economy during one of the bear markets back in the early turn of the century.
yeah. What was the what was the show that was on for one season that
Oh,
is
that was a
great
great
to
show.
get people into stocks?
Yeah, just to
Do you
talk about
remember what it was called? One season. Um, was it called? Uh,
I'm trying to think of.
well, well, well. Yeah. If it comes to your mind, say it because it's a great one for people that want to learn about the
Yeah,
stock
yeah.
market.
We'll make sure we look that up before the end of the show today.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyways, that's pretty much it. Like I
do you
told
have
you, I
any?
didn't
You don't
really
have any
find
other ones for this week?
no, I didn't really find anything else. I'm still going through the data table. I'm only like a quarter through it.
Okay,
So,
okay.
what do you got going on? I
Uh,
see you got a bunch in there. Are
I
those all
do.
watches or?
Yeah, these are like I'm ready to put orders in for some of these. I I like to go through these like my list a few times, but I only went
You
through this
check
once.
financials, or is this just
Yeah, no.
technicals that caught your eye?
These are stocks that I've gone through, both technicals and financials. Palantir. This is a company
Yeah.
that is working directly with the government in the United States, um, uh, and I've been wanting to get in on this for such a long time. So I'm actually gonna. I know this is a riskier move, but I'm gonna try to pick it up off once it comes up above the 50-day moving average. And the only reason
Okay, that's what you're doing.
that's what I'm doing here. And the only reason I can do that is because this has already come up. It's already made some great gains. And also look at this white line here. You see the earnings per share growth. That
Yeah.
is a beautiful thing. And for that reason, what is going on here? Did this just do what I think it did? Yeah, it did. Yeah, so because the
So
earnings
that's why. Okay.
are moving up, it was an
Yeah.
IPO breakout. It's had what one base here, and it
Yeah.
like realistically, how this is probably going to play out is it's probably going to make another cup and handle here, and it's going to explode out. But I'm going to pick it up off the 50-day moving average. with a very
Yep.
small position. This is a riskier play. This is Bill O'Neill.
Yeah.
I'm not making up my own rules here. You got to stick to your trading rules. This is Bill O'Neill's play, except he does more of an add-on to his positions, where I'm just actually doing an entry position, which is just fine too, as long as you can manage your risk.
Yeah.
This one,
Okay.
yeah, this one here is a gene diagnosis or whatever. Look at the pop. You see that explosive
Yeah, I
reaction
see
off the
that.
earnings? And then take a look at the earnings again. Look at the white line. You see the white line,
Yeah.
how it's moving up. Now, I don't really care as much in this because it is healthcare pharmaceuticals. It's not
Right.
pharmaceuticals. This is actually medical supplies. I think they do. But
Right.
regardless, the sales are looking excellent. I have 67% gains, and if you actually look at the sales in millions, you can see the gradual increase. And
Yeah.
this recent earnings we had was just phenomenal, 67%
How's
growth.
how's the technicals looking right now?
The
Can't
technicals
see.
are okay. So here's my reasoning behind this. Look at the
Yeah,
S&P
I was gonna
500.
say.
Look at the
Yeah.
S&P 500. S&P 500 has come down 5.19% during this
Mhm.
recent pullback. Now,
Right.
now watch since the same time this has come back. Oh God, 20%. That's a little bit more than I anticipated. But
Yeah.
regardless, it popped out of the gate, and then it kind of held its position while this was still going down. This had already made the turn. Now, the boys, the institutional boys, Mark and Mark, Will O'Neill, they do like these pullbacks to be just two and a
Mhm.
half times what the S&P did. This is a little bit over, but it's still within close proximity. It's still under 25% pullback. I don't know. I'm breaking the rules here a little bit. I might
Oh,
be, but
totally, man.
yeah, you can sense it
Totally.
in my voice. But
Yeah. Like,
because of this earnings per
that would
share,
scare me.
this
Yeah.
this is a riskier play, I'll admit. But look at the
Yeah.
earnings, 257%. I like that triple
Yeah, I
digit
get it.
earnings.
For sure.
And then
I get it,
look
but
at the gross margin. Look at the gross margin,
yeah.
also increased. So we have three. We have the sales, earnings per share, and gross margin. Um, this is a code
Mm.
33, as
Yeah,
Mark likes to
it's
call it.
more financials for sure.
It's definitely this is a financial play, and I'm really hanging
Yeah.
on to the fact that it's healthcare. But regardless, we have a little bit of I don't even know if this is a cheat or if this is a handle. I would maybe you could really depends on your perspective.
Mm.
But this is another play that I might make just because the financials are so strong and we had such a jump. That's not Aunt Betty over here
Yeah.
making
I
bets
know.
here.
You
Yeah.
got some institutional supports
You
just
got yeah.
getting
That's
in the bathtub
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. You can see the
Uh,
water in the bathtub is definitely rising because there's such a
yeah.
heavy elephant that's gotten into the water. This is institutional support
We
markers.
should let people know a lot of these sayings are from Mark's books.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
we've been I've noticed that after our last one too. I was like, how much we quote Mark. So we
we
just gotta let
do.
people know that.
Yeah. So you'll
Uh,
pick up on some of the lingo, but
Yeah.
yeah, these are a lot of Mark's quotes and Mark's lingos. You can't deny that Mark Minervini is one of the best when the U.S. Investing Championships
Yeah.
consistently pumps out champions in top positions of all
Yeah.
four tiers constantly from the Minervini program or Bill O'Neill's program. Okay, you
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
deny it. This is a man who
Yeah.
has taught George Soros and company, and trained some of the traders there. We're not messing around with a YouTube trader here. This is someone who is well established. He was on CNBC back in the '90s. He knows his game. So okay, moving forward.
All right, Captain. What do you got next?
So this is
IFS.
I really don't like doing financials,
I
but
know you said that
I
last
always say that,
podcast.
but this is just and this is a little bit extended. I honestly I don't know how I feel about this one. This is like a high
Yeah.
tight flag. It's at 5% on the pullback compared to the pullback on the S&P 500. This is handling just so well. So I might just because look at the tightening on the end of this. It's so
Yeah.
tight that I almost can't not go in. And then you look at the financials, it gained 72%. I know it did it miss
Yeah.
earnings? No, it did not. But
If if this was, you know what I'm gonna say.
no, go ahead.
I
Wait,
was gonna say if you had 10 stocks that you could pick in a year, would this be one of them?
no. This is definitely a short
Exactly.
play. This is definitely a
Yeah.
short. This is not something I'm swing trading. This is like
Okay.
jump in and out. Um,
Next, what do you got?
let's see. We got Genpact.
Impact.
I'm not sure about this either. This
Okay.
should not be on the list. This is far extended.
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna say, what's up?
I think one of the things that was attractive about this is the earnings. Look at the
Mhm.
earnings. It's like a lightning bolt going straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
If
Okay.
if you look at the numbers, and then the other thing is it was gapping up. I just love these upward gaps, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm probably not going to mess with this one. Honestly, I'm
Okay.
going to actually move this out of my list. And then this one is another one that I'm going to move out of my list.
You missed
I
Dash. I was
did,
thinking,
yeah.
what? Yeah.
DoorDash, yeah. This is one that again, all the ones that I'm talking about
Mm.
today, these are all short plays. I'm just
Yeah,
noticing this
I
missed
can see
earnings.
that. Yeah.
This missed earnings. This is out. If okay, let me just say this outright. If
All
you
right.
miss earnings as a big company, that's not good
Yeah.
because what I want to see is some of these analysts that are analyzing these companies. You want the company to. You don't want the analysts uh, to estimate above what the company can do. You want the company to grow so fast that the analysts can't keep up. So
The
when we
R18.
start missing earnings, I'm worried that we're going to start rolling over and going down. So
Right.
it's not a good long term play. Plus, I have a lot of short plays here. So what else do we
You've
got
got,
here? This
yeah,
one
what do you
just
got next? EVER.
yeah,
Ever.
EVER, yeah, Ever. So this is EverQuote. This is an insurance company. No, this is
It says
a
internet software.
no, but when I checked it out, it
Yeah.
actually is. Check this out. This they do car insurance and
Oh,
home renters
got it.
insurance,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
do it all online. So
Okay.
one of the things I loved about this is
Damn.
again,
Look at the fucking buyers on that.
yes,
Holy.
that and the pullback here, the pullback again, 5.19% on
Yeah.
the S&P 500. While this doesn't even realize what's going on. No one
Mm,
told this company what's happening in the market because this thing
yeah.
is just blown out of the water. And what I'm thinking is once the S&P starts to move up, then what is this going to do if it was already got so much pressure behind it? This was out of earnings, of course.
So that's not considered extended?
Yes, it is. This is a handle
Okay.
being formed. So this is what I
Okay.
was going to say as I was pulling it out of this list here.
Hmm.
But what yeah. So this I wouldn't actually touch with a 10-foot pole right now. This has a
Got it.
ton of potential to pull back, and
Okay.
I'm not playing around with that. I learned
Yeah, yeah.
last year. Uh, now Blackbeard and myself are still learning the game here. We will teach you guys what we've learned from some of these great players. But last year, one of the things I learned the most, I think, was to really be selective about my trades and to definitely take the money and run when I'm up. Because
Yeah,
what happened last year is
yeah,
we were expecting to swing trade. You remember this, Blackbeard? We were expecting to
yeah,
swing
yeah, yeah.
trade, but
Held way too long.
they were yeah we were holding it long enough that it would just come back down and then we'd end up selling at a loss. So it ended up pulling down our market. But anyway, so eat is another one.
Small profit makes big profit.
Yeah, say that one more time. Your mic just
Eat.
went out when you said that.
Oh, I said small profits added up are compounded and make big profits.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So you just got it's all about risk management is really it. This one here, Eat. What is this company even called?
Right,
Brinker International. They're a restaurant company.
right.
Again,
So,
it had a great.
so what's up with this?
Say
Yeah.
again.
So I was just, what's your explanation on this one?
Yeah, there's no explanation. This is just it's going to be at a low cheat. It's probably going to make a cup and handle over a long period of time. This is again a pretty
Yeah,
risky
okay.
play, so small position entering in. But
Mhm.
the again, you'll notice a common trend with all of my stocks. The earnings are flying
Damn,
through the roof.
it did the old. You could have caught it on that bounce off the 50-day.
You could have caught it on the 50-day bounce. Yep. And
Yeah,
you would have been just fine. And Bill O'Neill says to buy it right as it's coming back up. So this would have actually been
yeah,
your entry
there
point
it
right
is.
here, 150.89. So and that's not with all of them. You can't just take any stock and do this with it.
Yes,
This is after it's
of
pulled
course.
back from a gain. Okay. and you
Yeah.
still have to have the fundamentals to.
Financial.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah, thank you. The
financials.
financials, well, the fundamentals to back it up as well. So
Right.
so
Both,
s-
both.
s- so that's another one. Yeah, Clearwater. This is a classic. I've been in and out of this stock. You'll notice this happy little eye I put. That's because this is an
Yeah.
IPO breakout.
Oh, yeah. Man, look at those volume bars. Holy.
Yeah, so you've played this one a few times, eh?
I don't remember.
Okay.
This does look very familiar for sure.
Tell me what you think of this one.
I think the base still needs to be formed. I don't know. I just I don't know. Doesn't yeah.
Yep. So this one, I think it's a nice little handle.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is just out of the earnings. We have 30%, which I mean, it's not amazing, but we have growth here. Uh,
But see if the volume dries up. How's the volume the
that's the
last couple
thing. You
days?
you do want the volume to dry up. What you want to see is a jump in
Yeah,
volume as it comes up, and then
yeah.
as it kind of tapers off here, you want to see a reduction. And we actually did see that, but you really want to see that volume tightening up before the
Mm.
breakout.
What do you have there as a note in that yellow? Can't read that.
Oh, this.
Accelerated stale today. Accelerated.
Yeah, accelerated. This is from way before
Oh,
low
okay.
analyst interest.
Hey, there's a USFD, the one I was talking about. Your next one.
Yeah, that's because I added it with you. That's
All
why it's
right.
there. I actually had that on here today, and I
And
can't.
then yes, you just didn't like the what we were just talking about,
Oh
the
yeah, it was
revenue.
the sales that threw me off.
Is
The
the
sales
revenue?
are
Yeah.
there's hardly any acceleration on these sales.
Mm.
And then the other thing is look how it's not extended. Um, but when you
It's on its fourth base. Yeah.
that's the problem is like this is a
Yeah,
great
it's on
short
its
play.
fourth base.
It's hard to not
That's
play it though because it's tightened up so well at the
I
end here.
know that's this one was a big technical for me just because it got so tight
Yeah,
and just that way the base is forming it. I just like
I'm
it just
curious what
caught
this
my
looks like
eye
on the
instantly.
hourly. Yeah,
Caught my eye instantly.
yeah. So you can see these rapid pullbacks,
Yeah.
but the rapid gains. Like look at this 1, 2 days, and then it takes what
What
five
happened on the
days to come
market
down.
on that one massive red? Go way back to where the
Over here,
UPS
this
is.
was the
Yeah.
earnings.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. Okay.
More than likely, but look at how it closed, Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Look at how it closed.
Yes, I see.
So it pulled back. Yeah, it did pull back, but it ended up closing really well at the very height of it. So that's
Yeah.
one of the things
Yeah.
that gives me some
Yeah,
a
matey.
lot of hope. You know what they probably did is there was a lot of sell-offs in anticipation of the earnings, and then they probably once they got the earnings, they bought back.
So I'm pretty much gonna see if this bad boy tightens up even more and volume comes down. If it does, I'm gonna try to go for a short nab.
Yeah, not a short play, a short like you're gonna take it, you're gonna buy it on the bullish side.
Yeah,
So the volume's looking like
and
it's tightening.
play it short,
You're gonna short
right?
the stock?
No, play it not short. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm gonna take the money and run.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna.
you're not gonna hold for
Yes,
very too long. Yeah,
because
this is
it's
a
on its fourth base and it's yeah.
I guess I gotta
But
stop saying short play. Yeah.
Like Mark said, you could still take bases that are like what do you say, 5 and 6? But yeah, so obviously it's just more of a take that money and run. The
Take that
higher up
money
the
and run.
bases,
This is the
yeah,
I was trying to say something about
the
the
base
VIX.
count. There we go. The
Yeah, the
base
base
count.
counts are really important. If
Yes.
yeah, and I think do you remember who he learned that from? Was it Larry I can't remember. That's okay.
Was
The
it Wiseman? I don't know.
Was it Wiseman? I don't know. He mentioned it in his book.
Yeah, he's
And
the one that does the base counts for sure.
yeah, that's right.
And the stages, right? Stage one, two,
Yeah,
three,
that's
4.
right.
He's the one that he learned the stages.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Anyways,
So okay, I
uh,
wanted to mention this about the VIX, the volatility index, VIX. So
Yeah.
this is where we are right now. So below 15, when you're below
Mhm.
15, that is the easy dollar territory, okay?
Yeah.
When you're see over here, this was the easy dollar territory. It was fine to
Yeah.
get into these longer trades and hold for a swing. When you're
Right.
above that number here, I actually used to use 17, but I believe Mark Minervini uses 15, so I've actually switched that recently. So when you're above that, that's what we call hard penny environment. So you work really hard and you only come out with pennies. So you gotta
Right.
know where you are in the volatility of the market. Something else about right now, which is just handy to keep your eyes on, sometimes is the stocks. How many stocks are above the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average? We only have 50 stocks in the above the 50-day moving average right now. Sorry, 40% of stocks in the entire stock market in the U.S. stock market are above the 50-day moving average. So you can see it's really tapered down. And when you're comparing that to the S&P 500, where the S&P 500 isn't looking healthy right now. It's still below the 50-day moving average. We did get a little
Right.
bit of a bounce up. The bounce up was a solid 1.48%. Which is nice to see. I like to see above 1%, above 1.25%. However, we don't know if this is going to be a proper bounce. We might be entering, and look at the volume on the S&P 500. This is the futures, of course. ES or this is the micro futures, MES, and the volume is high. So there's a lot of
Some
pullback. There's
people
a lot
might
of
not know what that
sell-offs.
is.
It's the futures. Okay, so you can get futures contracts for the S&P 500. The reason I use this is because it shows you volume as well. Of course, you could use SPX or SPY even. That's
Mhm.
an ETF. It also shows volume, but the futures is
What is an
trading.
ETF? Some people might not know that.
ETF is an electronically traded fund. It's
Yeah.
where a company will pool, take a whole bunch of stocks and put it into. Uh, Essentially, it's an opportunity. It's another instrument to trade certain assets. So you have ETFs for groups of, say, utility stocks and all kinds of different stuff. And in this case, you have an ETF made for the S&P 500. Otherwise, you can't trade the S&P 500 obviously because it's an index. The S&P
Yes.
500 is just a group of 500 stocks that shows you what the average of the stock market looks like. Of course, it's
Yeah.
skewed. It's skewed because 25% of those stocks are in what, five companies, five
Yeah.
technology companies. Yeah, indeed, blistering barnacles on that because
Mhm.
that really skews the results. But that's what an ETF is. It's another instrument that you can use to make a trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the situation this week. If
Right
I'm
on,
taking
man.
any trades, I don't know about you, Blackbeard, but if I'm taking any trades, they're going to be short lived. They're in and out.
Yes.
I am not taking any
Yes.
risks. Once I get that money, I'm running with it out the door. So
I like I mentioned previously, my eye was just on USFD, right? Because the that technical, and that was like my main one, seriously. But
USFD
that,
is very nice.
yeah, just that technical, and that's literally my number one, I would say,
So these
if I was gonna
tightenings,
do something.
well, below 10% is usually what we're looking for, and this is at a solid 3.
No, right? I
I mean,
know, I
and
know.
then even like the last peak to trough is actually even less than that. Like it's really looking pretty
Tight.
nice. Not to mention out of the earnings, we did see like really good
Hmm.
reaction from investors. So this is a nice one. So yeah,
Just
anything to
doesn't have the code 33, but you
it,
don't always need that code
you know,
33,
no,
right?
it's not
So
even the code 33. It's just the sales. I like to see that anywhere in the 20 to
yeah,
25 range or above. The higher, the better.
yeah,
These sales are slow. Let's
I
just see
know.
what analysts said. Not that what analysts say really matters, but it looks like analysts.
Yeah,
What do we have? 15
15.
analysts. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the majority of analysts are thinking it's going to go up with a
yeah, yeah.
max of 25%.
Mm,
All we can do is wait and see. The
yeah.
annual earnings look like they're climbing.
Yeah.
The revenue, the sales, the engine of it all
Mhm.
is also climbing. Of course,
Yeah.
Bill O'Neill says earnings per share is the final. That's what you're looking for. But if you don't have the engine, you don't have anything.
I might dip dip my toe in there. We'll see.
Keep the kids entertained. I'm just gonna grab some water.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much for this week. As you can see, not too much. Nothing we're 100%. When it comes to a market like this, if you're not 100%, dip your toe in it. If it doesn't skyrocket, get
Yeah,
the hell out,
that's right.
right?
That's right. You want to be
Exactly.
positive. You want to be in green out of the gate. Once you put your order in, and if it comes and triggers your order, you want to be green out of the gate. 50% of stocks will come back to their buy point. That's why we always like to leave, uh, your stop loss. Give it some
Hmm.
space to
Yeah,
fluctuate. But out of the gate, you want it to go up, and then sometimes day over day it'll taper down. But you don't want it to come back on the same day. That's a false breakout.
right on,
So,
Captain.
all right. Well, thanks for joining me, Blackbeard. And
Hey, we'll see you soon.
yeah, see you soon. We'll see how this week goes. And thank you all for joining. We'll be back next week, and we'll show you again what our analysis is for the week coming. All
Right
right.
on, man.
Let's trade
And like
hard,
always, trade hard.
trade hard. All right. Peace out.